Hello there, so today is the first time I've done a 7 items divination drawing since I arrived in India. And I'm glad I brought the beeswax crayons with me, that's so good. And so here are the items that go into this drawing. It's sun, mountain or mountains or hills, path, tree, water, snake, bird. So just do it my own way. Everyone does it their own way, that's the idea. And you pick up the crayons and you start using them without engaging the mind at all. That's quite important. So the very first thing that I drew was this orange vortexy spirally type shape, out of which came this little cluster of leaves and flowers. And then I was drawn to put in these 1, 2, 3, the little double tetrahedrons floating in the air there. The next thing I was inclined to do was to create a little pond, well, a medium-sized pond actually, with the idea of this being a pond which would actually be like a spring, and the water would run out of the pond, out of the picture. And the whole setting actually is at the top of a hill or a mountain, and there's a path that's leading up to the top. Here's the summit, and on the summit there is the pond, and there's also the tree. So my trees have been rather untree-like for a very long time, and certainly in recent years it's always shades of red and orange and yellow that seem to come out. The tree is well rooted into the mountain top, and it's extracting water from that particular root, you can see there. And it's got this very formalized structure up here which extends out. So what I've always noticed about my art, even when I was doing GCSE as a school child, is as soon as I was given the freedom to do so, I would draw plant-like shapes. So to me, a plant-like shape is a very significant part of my inner life. And then the very last thing that I added, I didn't want to put a bird in, I wanted to put a dragon in instead, and I've made several attempts to draw dragons, all of which were absolutely appalling. And this one is okay, so I'm happy with this one. So it's a water dragon, because that's actually what I am in the Chinese zodiac. I'm a water dragon. And the water dragon, this is the year of the wood dragon, so that's expressed by the flames coming out of his mouth being shades of green. So you might ask, where's the snake? And I did ask that same question myself, but I realized after a moment that's actually what I've got going on here. This is the sun, but it's also the snake as well. So to explain all these different words over on this side have got meanings. So the sun is used to look at the spiritual life. So the spiritual life is at the center of the picture, up at the top. So it shows us taking a strong position, and directly below it, below the flowering. So the way I look at it, this would relate to the snake. The snake is in its flowering phase. So the snake is used to look at sexuality. So since coming to India, I feel there's an inner process going on whereby I'm being transmuted in that part of my life, which I'm very happy about. And directly below the sensing organs of the snake, there is the water. So the water represents the emotional life and the unconscious, what is not so well known, generally speaking. And it's relatively calm, but there are ripples in the water. It's not turbulent water, and the feeling I have is that the rain comes down, lands on the mountain top, collects into the pond, and this is like a spring, and then that goes down the mountainside and produces a stream, which then will grow into be a river. So it's a sense of, yes, the water is contained, yes, it is making a connection with the foreground. The foreground is always a significant thing to look at these pictures. It's what's going on with it now. So the unconscious, that is, and the emotional life, that is connecting in a slender manner, and it's nourishing these little marsh plants which are growing around the water. So there's this idea of the inner life nourishing the mountaintop. So the mountaintop or the hilltop, that relates to goals, dreams and aspirations in life. Having arrived in Mother India, I have finally reached a point where it's a point I never thought I ever would reach, but this is the fruition. So the fruition is seen through the fruit in the tree, through the fruit in the snake, and through the emanations out from the water dragon. It's all a time of fruitfulness to me. So I feel absolutely amazing to be here, no question about it. And even the water, the unconscious, is being generous in terms of its giving, because it's giving life to these little plants, these little marsh plants, and it's nourishing the tree. And what I've got going on here, which might look like a bit of a ladder, it's actually the completion of the path. So the path that I've been on for who knows how long has finally reached a point where the path stops, because I've arrived. So that's my feeling. I feel that in Mother India's embrace, I have arrived. I am in the process of becoming more me than I have ever been for a very long time. I've had lots of insights and revelations, and for me, working for 17 years as a volunteer for Green Underway, and also working in many other capacities as a fire show master, as someone who creates ritual theatre experiences in the field, this is a really fundamental part of my nature. And so is hosting sweat lodges. I did both these activities for around 17 years, and ever since then it's been the retreats for the plant medicines. This is all me living my life's purpose. Somehow coming here is bringing everything to full fruition, so I'm so delighted to be able to share this with you, and I'm experiencing a degree of peace, calmness, satisfaction, achievement, arrival, and the ineffable. That's what cannot be explained in words, simply by being here. So I want to end this note with my words: all the love to you.